What if I told you your thoughts are secretly designing your future every single day? Sounds unreal, right? But it's not. For thousands of years, Buddhist wisdom has whispered this one truth: your mind creates your reality. If you keep feeding it fear and doubt, that's exactly the life you'll live. But what if you could flip the script? What if peace, clarity, and power were just one thought away? In this video, we're unlocking the ancient secret to mastering your mind and shaping a life you truly love. Ready to begin? For as long as we can remember, great teachers have said the same thing. The life we experience is a reflection of our mind. Buddha explained it with amazing clarity. We are what we think. Everything we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we create the world. At first it seems simple, but when you really think about it, it's a powerful truth that can change everything. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of kindness, compassion, and gratitude, what grows is peace and happiness. But if you let weeds take over, anger, resentment, fear, your life fills with suffering. The mind doesn't just reflect the world around us, it creates it. Every thought is like a seed. What you choose to plant is what you're going to harvest. Modern science backs this up. Thanks to something called neuroplasticity, we know that our brain changes based on how we think. Positive thoughts create new, stronger connections in the brain, which lead to a calmer, happier life. Negative thinking does the opposite. It strengthens the parts of the brain linked to stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. You can see it in everyday life. Two people go through the same situation. One finds a lesson and grows, the other gets stuck in frustration. The difference isn't what happened, it's how each mind chose to see it. So if the mind has that much power, how do we train it to build the life we want? That's where Buddhist wisdom comes in. Through meditation, mindfulness, and learning to let go of what we can't control, we can step back and watch our thoughts without letting them take over. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how our thoughts shape our emotions and actions, and how we can start transforming our life from the inside out. Every thought that crosses your mind leaves a mark on the life you're creating. If your mind is filled with fear, constant worry, and self-doubt, the reality you live in will mirror that. But if your thoughts are grounded in clarity, gratitude, and trust, everything around you begins to shift. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about how the mind shapes your experience of life, moment by moment. Picture this. You wake up in the morning, and your first thought is that something's going to go wrong. Maybe you're worried about work or replaying something you said the day before. Those thoughts start to color your entire day. Every little challenge feels heavier. Every interaction feels tense. At the end of the day, you feel exhausted, and you tell yourself it was just a bad day. But it wasn't just what happened around you. It was the way your thoughts framed everything. Now imagine the opposite. You start your day with a sense of gratitude. You focus on one simple thing that makes you feel good. You carry that feeling with you into your morning. The traffic doesn't bother you as much. A mistake at work becomes a chance to learn instead of a reason to be frustrated. It's not that your life suddenly became perfect, it's that your thoughts shaped how you experienced it. This is the power thoughts have. They don't just pass through your mind. They create the emotional state you live in and influence every decision you make. The teachings of Buddhism explain that the mind is like a river. If it flows wild and uncontrolled, it can be dangerous and destructive. But if you guide it with awareness, it becomes a source of life, clarity, and peace. Most of the time, people aren't aware of their thoughts. They live on autopilot, repeating the same stories in their heads that they believed since childhood. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I always fail, life is just hard. These ideas become beliefs, and those beliefs become reality. But what if you stopped and questioned those thoughts? What if you realized they're not absolute truths? This is where meditation comes in. It's not about clearing your mind of thoughts, it's about observing them without getting caught up in them. When you meditate, You learn that thoughts are like clouds drifting across the sky. They come and go, but they aren't you. There are simple Buddhist practices that help you change the way you think. Mindfulness meditation teaches you to stay present and aware. Repeating positive thoughts helps you create new mental habits. Practicing detachment allows you to stop clinging to ideas that don't serve you anymore. And daily gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already good in your life. Many great teachers and leaders have lived this truth. Buddha himself was born into a life of luxury, but by transforming his mind, he reached enlightenment. Nelson Mandela spent years in prison, but used his thoughts to stay focused on peace and forgiveness. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every small shift in your thinking brings you closer to a more meaningful, peaceful life. Suffering. From the moment we wake up, our mind starts running. It reminds us of what happened yesterday. It jumps ahead to what's coming tomorrow, and it fills the space in between with thoughts, most of them without us even noticing. Some are neutral, others are positive, but a lot of them can be negative. And when we let those negative thoughts run unchecked, they become a constant source of suffering. Think back to the last time something was bothering you. Maybe it was something someone said, or a mistake you made, or something you were afraid might happen. Whatever it was, the situation itself probably lasted only a few minutes, but in your mind, it kept playing over and over. The more you thought about it, the heavier it felt. It's like feeding a fire. The more you throw on it, the bigger it gets. And that's what happens when we dwell on negative thoughts. They grow until they take over everything. Buddhism teaches that suffering doesn't come from the things that happen to us. It comes from our resistance to what happens. When something upsets us, instead of letting it go, we hold on to it, we analyze it, we replay it. It's like having a wound and scratching at it instead of letting it heal. That's how negative thinking keeps us trapped. The human mind has a natural tendency to focus on the negative. It's something we inherited from our ancestors, who had to stay alert to danger to survive. But today, that same instinct can backfire. If we let our mind constantly focus on what's wrong or what could go wrong, it affects everything. Our stress increases, we lose sleep, we feel tired and drained, and over time, that mental habit becomes our default way of living. The good news is, we can change this. We can train the mind to stop holding on to negative thoughts before they take control. Mindfulness helps us notice the moment when a harmful thought appears. When we see it clearly, we can let it go instead of getting stuck in it. It's like watching a leaf float by on a river. You don't have to grab it, you just let it pass. One Buddhist monk explained this with a simple image. Imagine you have a glass of clear water. If you stir in some dirt and shake it, the water gets cloudy. But if you set the glass down and leave it alone, the dirt settles, and the water becomes clear again. That's how our mind works. If we keep stirring it up with negative thinking, we lose clarity. But if we stop, breathe, and stay still, our mind clears and we see things for what they are. Freeing yourself from suffering doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts. It means you learn how to handle them. You stop believing they're facts. You stop letting them define you, and you choose which thoughts deserve your attention. In the next chapter, we'll explore how the practice of mindfulness can help you cultivate a positive mind and build a life of balance and peace. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning, our mind is already on the move. We think about everything we need to do. What went wrong yesterday? What could go wrong today? We bounce from one thought to the next without a break, like a restless monkey swinging from branch to branch. And in all that noise, we miss what's happening right in front of us, the present moment. Buddhism teaches that the key to freeing ourselves from the cycle is mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present, paying attention to what's happening right now without judgment, without distraction. It's not about forcing the mind to be blank. It's about training it to be aware of this moment instead of getting lost in the past or the future. Think about how we usually live our days. We eat meals while scrolling on our phones. We walk without noticing where we are. We listen to someone speak while already thinking about how we'll respond. Most of the time, we aren't really here. We're somewhere else. And before we know it, the days pass, and we've missed so much. But when we practice mindfulness, even the simplest moments feel different. Drinking a glass of water, feeling the warmth of the sun, hearing the sound of the wind in the trees. These small experiences become richer because we're fully present for them. And just as importantly, we become more aware of our thoughts so they no longer run the show without us noticing. One of the most effective ways to train mindfulness is through meditation. A lot of people think meditation is about clearing the mind, but it's really about noticing what's there without getting caught up in it. You sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. Almost immediately, thoughts will start popping up. You'll remember something you forgot to do. You'll wonder how much time has passed. That's normal. The practice is in noticing when your mind has wandered and gently bringing it back to the breath. Each time you do this, you're strengthening your ability to stay present. But mindfulness isn't just for meditation. You can practice it anytime, anywhere. When you're eating, focus on the taste and texture of the food. When you're walking, feel each step. Notice the ground beneath your feet. When you're with someone, give them your full attention. No phone, no distractions, just presence. The effects are powerful. Science shows that mindfulness reduces stress, sharpens focus, and increases feelings of well-being. But beyond the science, it changes your relationship with your own mind. You stop reacting automatically to everything. You stop being a prisoner of your emotions. You learn to observe what's happening without needing to control it. One Zen teacher said, "The mind is like a lake. When the water is stirred up, you can't see anything clearly. But when it's still, everything becomes clear." Mindfulness is what brings that stillness. In the next chapter, we'll look at real-life examples of how people have transformed their lives through mental training. Proof that this isn't just theory, but something anyone can experience for themselves. All these ideas about the power of thoughts and mindfulness sound inspiring, but how do they work in real life? How do these teachings help when you're stuck in traffic, dealing with a tough conversation, or feeling overwhelmed by everything going on? That's where the practice becomes real, when it's part of your everyday life, not just something you read about. Take the example of someone having a stressful day at work. Deadlines are piling up. Things aren't going as planned, and pressure is building. Normally, your thoughts start racing. I'm not good enough. I'll never get this done. This always happens to me. Those thoughts fuel frustration and make the situation feel worse. But with mindfulness, something different can happen. You notice the pattern. You catch yourself thinking those things. You take a deep breath. Instead of feeding the negativity, you focus on one simple action you can take right now. You bring your attention to what's in front of you and move forward calmly. It's not that the situation disappears, but the way you experience it changes completely. Or think about an argument with someone close to you. The usual reaction is to defend yourself, to raise your voice, to prove you're right. But when you're mindful, you pause. You feel the anger rising, but you don't act on it. You listen, not just to their words, but to their feelings. You respond with calm instead of reacting with emotion. That moment of awareness can prevent a fight and open a space for understanding. Instead, transformation through mindfulness isn't just for the big, dramatic moments. It's in the small things. Eating a meal slowly and tasting every bite. Walking down the street and noticing the color of the sky. These little moments of awareness build up, and over time, they change how you live your life. One of the biggest shifts happens in how we talk to ourselves. Most people live with a harsh inner critic. Thoughts like, "I'm not enough," "I always mess things up," "Nothing ever works out for me," play on repeat. But when you become aware of those thoughts, you can challenge them. You realize they're not facts, just old patterns that you've been repeating for years, and you can choose to let them go. You can replace them with thoughts that support you instead of hold you back. A simple but powerful practice is gratitude. Each morning or before you go to sleep, you take a moment to think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. A quiet moment with your coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, the fact that you got through a tough day. Focusing on gratitude trains your mind to notice what's good instead of constantly searching for what's wrong. The core of Buddhist practice is realizing that you don't have to wait for life to be perfect to feel peace. Peace comes from within, and the way to find it is through training your mind moment by moment, thought by thought. In the next chapter, we'll explore how meditation helps clear and purify the mind, breaking old patterns and making space for a calmer, more balanced life. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools in training the mind. At its core, it's about creating space between stimulus and reaction, allowing us to choose how we respond to life. Through consistent meditation practice, we cultivate a mind that's less reactive and more peaceful. We learn to quiet the inner chatter, giving our true nature a chance to shine. Just like a garden needs regular care to thrive, our minds need attention and nurturing to grow in peace. One of the most beautiful aspects of meditation is its ability to clear old patterns of thinking that no longer serve us. Over time, it helps us break free from limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. You start seeing the world through a lens of calm, clarity, and compassion, transforming not just your internal world, but the way you interact with the world around you. The more you practice, the more you realize that peace isn't something you need to search for outside. It's already within you, and meditation simply helps you access it. It's the key to unlocking the potential that lies within your mind. So here's the truth. Mastering your mind is not a one-time achievement. It's a lifelong journey. And no, it won't happen overnight. But with every breath of awareness, every moment of stillness, and every thought you choose with intention, you're rewiring your reality. Every time you replace fear with focus or doubt with purpose, you're getting closer to the life your soul quietly dreams of. This isn't just about changing how you think. It's about changing how you live. So inhale peace, exhale resistance, and take your first step today. Your mind has the power. Now it's your turn to use it.